The documentary exposes some shocking scenes and stories from the show, including a contestant who was sexually assaulted when drunk, another one subjected to racist language and extreme pressure on contestants to be skinny. Some have said the show was just of its time. I have to say it passed me by, but you watched it, yeah?
Yeah, I remember. It was 2003. I was 13. I was like a teenager. And I would have to say in South Africa, it was just as huge as it was in America. And at that time, none of it just seemed offensive. It just seemed like that's what you do. If you wanted to be a model, that's what you do. You don't eat, like you handle all these really negative words in the dressing room or in the hair and makeup room. It just felt crazy. And now when you sit and watch it, I felt really triggered. And I remember just writing our producer, Matty, I was like, this is mad. Like, we still go through some things like that.
Yeah.
I don't feel like a lot of things have changed.
You don't?
No, I generally don't. I still think models still have to go through a lot and put their bodies through a lot. I still feel like there are women of colour who have to handle certain languages, maybe makeup, maybe hair. There's a scene in one of them where they actually make fun of her hair while they cut it and be like, should we maybe carve our name into it, because that would be fun.
Shocking.
It's embarrassing, it's humiliating, but I would tell you today 100% they are women who are still going through that.
Yeah.
Exactly like that. And it wasn't, I feel like it wasn't just that. It was the whole eating things when the girls pass out and they're just putting themselves through all of the stuff just to be a model. And then Tyra turning around and taking zero accountability. I feel like we right now have probably said something that in the future is going to get us cancelled, for sure. But it's looking at it and saying, that was what was happening at the time. Those were the shows we were producing. I am sorry and I take accountability.
Right, well, that's a key question, I guess, isn't it? You know, when you do look back on that, and it was 20 years ago, and you were a fan of it as well, weren't you?
I was, and when I watched this, I was shocked that I was a fan of such brutality.
Can we judge it by where we are now?
No, because I think, if you just think, Kay, we've been doing Loose Women now, what, 26 years?
Yeah.
How many of the things now that we would have said without a second thought on Loose Women that we would not dream of saying now? And the thing is, we were all in different times. So say there was something way back from Loose Women that came up and said, wow, this hurt this many people, I would be, oh, my goodness, you know, I had no idea. But those people need to be validated. So you would say, oh, I'm really sorry that I hurt you. It was of the times. But there's nothing of that with her. And excuse me, why is she wearing a raincoat the whole way through? It's the oddest.
Inspector Gadget.
We did contact Tyra Banks for comment, but she did not.
I thought it meant about the raincoat.
Not about the raincoat. Not about the raincoat, no. But, you know, so that would imply that things are better now. But I was interested, Oti, that you said these things are still happening. Do you think things are better now?
I think people are just more secretive about their opinions now. I think a lot of stuff is said, whether it's on sets to do with things about people, but you wouldn't say it like that now. It was just more open. But also, TV back then was just outrageous in general. You had Jerry Springer, you had all these shows. So I can understand why they would be like, we need to make this outrageous so we get views. And it worked. So from like a producing side, I get why they did it. But also, as viewers, we didn't look at that and think there was anything wrong at the time. So that just does prove, at the time... Yeah.
Did you feel like... They kept saying we wanted to expose the fashion world, but what it felt like when I was rewatching it was like, we're going to train you how to be bullied by the fashion world.
Just take it.
We're going to do everything so awful to you that you can take anything.
Do you think that... I feel like they do that to models. It's just that it's not shown anymore. Like, I feel like that whole world still exists. It's just now, like you say, you'll get cancelled for something.
Yeah, in certain places. Because if you go onto the online world, it's probably even more extreme even than that was.
I mean, we have regulations on telly now, thank God, but on social media, there isn't really that, which is why I think people love to go on there and watch stuff, because it can be sort of similar to that. And as much as how awful as it was to watch and witness, people do still enjoy watching stuff like that. People were rewatching it in lockdown going, this is
I watched Married
amazing
at First
TV.
Sight.
I mean, that is a different grade.
Shame on me.
You were fanatical of that. But, I mean, maybe there's just something in human nature that wants to see kind of extreme behaviour.
It's like the way we all look at a car crash, right, when we're on the motorway. We just do. It's just something in human nature.